The town that disappeared. America's forgotten story. Across America, there are places that once had homes, schools, businesses, and entire communities. People were born there, families grew there, and generations built their lives there. But some towns did not simply become abandoned. They disappeared. Some were lost to nature. Others were changed by progress and human decisions. Their streets, buildings, and memories slowly vanished. One of these places is St. Thomas, Nevada, a small American town that was eventually covered by the waters of Lake Mead. This is the story of a town that was once alive, and how it became one of America's forgotten places. In the late 1800s, settlers arrived in the Moapa Valley of southern Nevada and created the community of St. Thomas. The town was built near the Colorado River, where water allowed people to grow crops and create a farming community in the middle of the desert. Over time, St. Thomas became a small but active town. It had homes, a school, a post office, a hotel, and businesses that supported the people who lived there. For many years, residents built their lives around this desert community. But the future of St. Thomas was about to change. During the early 1900s, America was looking for ways to control the powerful Colorado River. The river provided water, but it also caused dangerous floods. The government wanted to create a massive dam that could provide electricity, store water, and support growing cities in the Southwest. That project became the Hoover Dam, but building the dam meant creating a huge reservoir behind it. Lake Mead. The rising water would eventually reach the valley where St. Thomas was located. When construction of the Hoover Dam began, residents of St. Thomas knew their town's future was uncertain. The land where their homes and farms stood would soon become part of the new lake. People were forced to leave their homes and move away. By the late 1930s, the last residents had left St. Thomas. A town that had once been full of life became empty. Slowly, the waters of Lake Mead covered the streets, buildings, and farmland. The town disappeared. For decades, St. Thomas remained hidden beneath the water. But the story did not completely disappear. When water levels in Lake Mead dropped, parts of the old town began to appear again. Visitors could see the remains of old roads, building foundations, and pieces of a community that had existed more than a century earlier. The ruins became a reminder that every place has a story, even places that are no longer visible on the map. Today, St. Thomas is part of the history of the American West. It represents a time when communities were built in difficult environments and a time when the needs of a growing nation transformed the landscape forever. The creation of Lake Mead brought enormous benefits, providing water and power to millions of people. But it also erased a small town that many people once called home. The story of St. Thomas teaches us that America's history is not only found in famous cities and monuments. Sometimes the most fascinating stories are hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. A forgotten town, a changing landscape, and a reminder that progress always leaves a mark on history. This was the story of St. Thomas, Nevada, the town that disappeared.